This is the final A Boy Do Review soul leveling content we'll be covering. Who knows? I'm honestly very excited to see how much can he keep milking soul leveling after the episode has ended. If he can make another one, it would be unreal. I would respect him so much for being able to just create content out of thin air. This one is Season 3 Theories, baby. Let's check it out.
Warning, heavy spoilers for Solo Leveling Season 2 Episode 13, the finale. Solo Leveling Season 2 has been absolutely fantastic. Go check out my Solo Leveling Season 2 full playlist review to see all of my opinions on these episodes. But while we wait for future new Season 3 updates, I am going to do some theories regarding Season 3. I am an anime only, so do not spoil the manhwa for me, please, at all. I've got a couple of crazy theories. So let's get on with it.
Let's go.
You know, I was expecting to see Isil once again at the end of Season 2 as
I think she's gone. I don't know if we're ever going back to the why would we go back to the Demon Castle? Straight up. There's no reason to go back to the Demon Castle. Right? Unless there's like a new leveling or gear, skill, something important, some material we need. I genuinely don't think we're ever going back. Maybe we could confront her about, you know, about their lore, right? The threat that they were preparing for, and then all just being summoned away from the demon realm to this place. But aside from the interrogation, what reason do we have to go back? Do I want Isil? Of course I do. But I'm talking from Sung Jin Woo's perspective. Think from the story's perspective. Why the fuck would he go back? He straight up saw her as an NPC and just left her with the shadow.
Jinwoo did promise her that he may want to.
I need some solo leveling diaries, bro. I need to see day in the life of Isil with the shadow, because we sent one shadow back here. I want to see what they're up to.
Can see her again. I think Isil also said that she wanted to celebrate Jinwoo's victory by having a party. So I do believe that we may get some sort of reunion with Sung Jinwoo and Isil.
Nah, that party was a dinner invitation with the family. And in the source material, they actually had a dinner prior to going out here and defeating the Demon Monarch Baran. So that's already been just closed.
That could in fact happen possibly in episode 1 of season 3. And with Sung Jinwoo beginning his new guild, could he recruit Isil? But how would that even happen?
No.
Could Isil somehow be able...
Why would he recruit her, right? There is no reason. He has no... He never wants to work with anyone else. He wants to do shit solo. He wants to lay in the low. And plus, she's like a demon thing in an instance dungeon. I just don't think any of this is possible.
But to walk freely outside of the dungeon in the human world, we saw some creepy looking blokes, with one of them looking like an ice elf. And this man is able to walk freely on Earth. He seems like he belongs more in those dungeons.
I do agree that he does remind me of Baraka, and they are from the dungeons. But again, those are dungeons. Essel is an instance dungeon, and just because their skin tone looks the same doesn't mean that these two are the same. Clearly, these are intellectual beings that are fundamentally different. I think that these are the monarchs, whatever respective, things there are. So far, we only know of the Shadow Monarch and Demon Monarch Baran, but apparently, Demon Monarch is also just the wrong translation in the anime, and he was never really a monarch in the webtoon, but whatever. These two clearly are special, and I don't think they are random mobs from a dungeon.
But going back to Sung Jinwoo and Isil, I don't think Jinwoo would have defeated the Demon Monarch Baran without Isil's help.
True.
I do believe that now he has leveled up to 100. Maybe he too has also unlocked the ability to open up portals at will, like the Ice.
That would be cool, but I think that these are, again, like specific things that monarchs can do, not random people. That's why, again, I believe that Dad is also a monarch of something, or at least something comparable, because he also was able to rip up. I mean, he didn't rip up anything. We didn't see him, but how did he show up at Jeju Island just like that? There was nothing that was shown. Did he have a ship? Did he swim here? Who knows? My guess is maybe the monarchs are able to just like open up gates and just like portals and dimensional travel like this.
And the Viking Broly boy, Jinwoo was in fact very shocked that Beryl was able to talk to him. I do believe this is part of him leveling up to 100, and maybe Sung Jinwoo has a...
No, the leveling thing has nothing to do with Beru talking. It's the fact that Beru is a general rank. The other soldiers, shadow soldiers, are a different tier below that. Jinmu being level 100 would imply that like if the speaking and the intelligence come from level 100, then the other shadows could be also be able to talk. That's not the case. It's specific to Beru because Beru again is a higher rank than others.
Unlocked even more mysterious techniques, which may be revealed in Season 3. Maybe level 100 has unlocked the ability for Sung Jin Woo to open up dungeon gates, maybe allowing Lee Sin to roam between the dungeons and the real world. It's just a theory of mine.
I don't agree with any of that, but again, these are just theory craftings. I think that level 100, if anything, the one thing we did unlock was straight up shown to us, right? These are no longer theories. This is literally the show telling us. We got a new key. It's leading back to the dungeon, the double gate dungeon, the Carton and Temple that we saw in season 1, episode 1 and 2. That should be the place that we go next. I don't know. Maybe that's just kind of be forgotten for a while because I don't think Jinmu even realized that he got that.
Between the dungeons and the real world. It's just a theory of mine. Moving on from that, let's talk about Broly Viking and the Ice Elf Old Man. So what were they doing there and what were they up to?
They were talking about a him. And why would he help, other people? It's not like him, right? We've been constantly talking about how Shadow Monarch is a title, not an actual person. And the title currently is holding on to Jinmu. That him is probably referring to the Shadow Monarch before Jinmu. And that it's very rare for that person to, help. So clearly, if this is talking about Jinmu, the Shadow Monarch right now, that must mean they're also familiar with monarchs. And maybe they themselves, again, are monarchs. That's pretty much it. They're just kind of just doing a checkup, I guess.
It is frightening seeing the old man Ice Elf just snap his fingers and knock out all of those hunters. It reminded me of Haki in One Piece. So old man Ice Elf and Broly Viking Boy were looking.
What?
Just snap his fingers and knock out all of those hunters. It reminded me of Haki in
What the hell is Haki?
One Piece.
Who's Haki? I'm a big One Piece fan. I'm not caught up. It's been a while. Oh, Haki. Conquers Haki. Okay, it's just accident. I thought for a second he was trying to say Hawkeye. Like Mihawk, Dracula Mihawk. And I'm like, did he ever have a moment like that? Anyways, yeah, it conquers Haki. It's like, if you can't withstand their pressure, then you pass out.
So old man Ice Elf and Broly Viking Boy were looking for a particular person. They sensed his power, and they were awfully confused as to why this him person was trying to help the humans.
Exactly, because again, Shadow Monarch that they understand is not the one that is currently Jinwu. Completely different behaviors and motives. That's why they're probably confused.
Calling him someone like that. And apparently this him person has always been an odd fellow. Now there are two potential suspects they could be talking about. Jinwu Jr. or Jinwu Sr.
Nah, neither. It's about who Jinmu represents right now, the Shadow Monarch title. This is not about Jinmu or Ilhuan. It's about the Shadow Monarch.
I think the power that they were sensing was possibly Sung Jin Woo's powers after he defeated the Red Ants and the Ant King. I do believe that Sung Jin Woo might be some sort of vessel, a bit like Eren Yeager.
Yes! He is a vessel for the Shadow Monarch.
I believe his powers came from somebody else or something else.
Yes!
So maybe the thing that they are referring to, the him, maybe they're referring to the power within inside Jinwu.
Yes!
Some Jinwu did get teleported into this blank world. That blank world does remind me of those internal dimensions that main shonen boys go through. Naruto had a dimension where he talked to the Nine Tails. Ichigo had a sort of internal world where he was talking to the hollow inside him. Could there be a dark demon monster inside of Sungjin?
Absolutely. And I think that the laughing titan giant thing back in season 1 in the double gate, could he possibly be the Shadow Monarch? I don't know, but it's all from there where we got these powers.
Woo, maybe that monster.
1 second, audio issues. Audio issues, 1 second. And we get back into it.
Is the source of Sung Jin Woo's powers. He could be a bit like Sukuna, where he is this ancient demon who roamed the entire world for thousands of years. And maybe this demon or another one started this whole mess with the dungeons, the red ants, and all the demons, which is...
Yeah, man, I'm telling you. Cause Who is like, because this is all like a game, it's like a system. They're able to open up gates, gates that look like dungeon gates. And I've been always thinking, who, like, the lore of this is one day gates just started to open, people become awakened, and now we just like do hunting. That's the lore, but it's like, why? Who created this? And why does Jinwoo operate on a system that is fundamentally different from everyone else? Who are the developers? Who are the creators? Are the monarchs the creators? Is the Shadow Monarch the one that created everything? Did he create the system specifically? Like, what is all of this, right? I think we're slowly getting to that answer.
It's why the two of them, Old Man Iself and Big Broly Viking Boy, were quite confused as to why the mysterious foe, aka the power within Sung Jin Woo, Sung Jin Woo's powers originally was not designed to help the humans.
Yeah, it's probably someone that's like cruel. Like, again, if we assume that it is the laughing statue guy, right? Clearly that person, you know, operates in a different way, has different values than Jinwoo.
Out. Back in season 2, episode 2 of Solo Leveling, the Iself King did tell Jinwoo that they have a particular voice inside their heads. That heads tell them to take out any human beings.
That's
and
right.
when confronting Sung Jin Woo, the Iself King did not have that voice.
Because it would not be a nice feature for the, like, assume that the Shadow Monarch or the creator, right? Assuming they are the ones that created the system, why would you want these minions to attack you? Wouldn't you program it such that, hey, I am the god of this, you are not going to be attacking me because I'm categorically different, but the other humans, that's fair game. I think it's starting to make a little bit more sense. Maybe we're reaching.
Is to control Alt-Delete Sung Jin Woo. Does Sung Jin Woo have an inner demon inside of him? Or is Sung Jin Woo the inner demon? There have been many occasions.
No, I think Jinwoo is the vessel. I think he's the vessel. And the Shadow Monarch is that inner demon equivalent from Battle Shonen shows.
Where Sung Jin Woo looks hella evil. Especially in the final scene, he is looking incredibly terrified.
I don't think this is supposed to look evil. I think that this is just aura farming with this shadow aesthetics.
This man. There may come a point where the power starts to consume Sung Jin Woo and he goes further and further down the dark path. Maybe after all this time, every enemy that
in my opinion, I think the system is trying to do that. I think the system is trying to make Sung Jin Woo into the powerful thing, right? I think the Shadow Monarch is intended to make Jinwoo as strong as possible so that he becomes that calamity that Dad was warning Dongsu about in early episodes of season 2. That's why, again, I believe that the Shadow Monarch is the final endgame boss and Jinwoo is a vessel and he's being used right now, but we just don't realize that.
That Sung Jin Woo has defeated Icarus, Ice King, to Carligan Tusk, to the Demon Monarch Baron, to the Ant King Baru.
Jesus,
maybe
my
all
eyes.
of this was planned from the beginning by the aliens, or the ultimate
The aliens! Alien Monarch, baby. That's a true endgame. Alien Monarch created the system.
final boss. Maybe this was all for Sung Jin Woo to create a new army, to create a whole new civilization where Sung Jin Woo rules all of them, and
No, I think that whoever is, there's a puppet master above Jinwoo, and I think we're being used and we're becoming stronger for their sake without realizing.
their main goal is to take out the humans. Sung Jin Woo could in fact lose his way and lose his humanity, becoming the very monster he swore to destroy. Could the power of friendship be the key to bringing Sung Jin Woo back from the dark side? Who knows? It's
Usually in those situations where a main character gets overwhelmed by darkness, it's always like a girl, a love interest that brings them back, right? So will Cha Hae-in kind of be that figure?
just a theory of mine. Moving on from that, Big Broly
That entire theory, I didn't agree with everything, but like 80 to 90%, I am on board. Jinwoo being a vessel of some different entity, and that entity being the Shadow Monarch, that thing being a different title. Now that we have extra dialogue, that further suggests that, you know, the Shadow Monarch indeed is a separate person. It's just that Jinwoo right now is the one that has a title. It's becoming a lot like the puzzle. It's slowly coming together.
Viking Boy did mention something quite eerie, talking about this lady person who would
Yeah, this part I got no clue of because there's no girl character that I am aware of that is at the peak of like the tier list here, I guess, because these two are kind of like weary of them, right? Assuming that these are monarchs, they're scared of a different girl who we haven't met anybody in that level just yet. So I'm assuming it's a completely strange character. Not strange as in like weird, but like strange as in like we don't know them just yet. and they're going to be maybe more fleshed out in season 3, and this is just like foreshadowing without us needing to have any context.
Would make an absolute fuss over the stench in that area. I do believe the Viking Broly boy has a fellow comrade with a similar ability to Chai Hyen the...
What did he say specifically? Quite the stench though. Yeah, I mean, we are explicitly talking about, you know, smell here. Is there a smell monarch? Nose monarch?
To Chai Hyen the dancer and the white-haired man with very sensitive noses.
True.
But maybe he could be referring to the fact that she could make a fuss when it comes to making a scene. She possibly has an extraordinary huge amount of power and would have gone absolutely crazy on the humans. Maybe this mysterious lady person could indeed be the final boss. Maybe she was the one who created the system.
Yeah, maybe. Straight up, I am all aboard for any of this.
And maybe she is the one who wants all of humans to be eradicated. Or maybe she is somehow related to the dancer. The lovely, elegant Chai Hyen was speaking absolute utter nonsense when she said she wasn't able to do anything. Girl, you took out the queen.
It doesn't really mean shit at the end of the day, does it though? Because again, these are all just fodder ants. The comparison is against Beryl. When the moment actually mattered, no one was able to do anything like Jinmu is the comparison. I think that what if the laughing, smiling Titan is a girl? Why am I so convinced that the smiling Titan statue is a guy? Because I ain't see no titties. I'm pretty sure it's a guy. Maybe it's genderless. Anyways, I still want to believe that that's like the Shadow Monarch or something related to it, rather than it being this woman right now.
Nonsense when she said she wasn't able to do anything. Girl, you took out the queen. You did something that not a lot of people would have been able to do.
True.
But she did say that she wants to get stronger, and the light in her eyes, the reflection, the beautiful art. This is the first time I have seen Chai Hyen actually have life in her eyes.
She's in
love. I do believe she has finally found her purpose. To get stronger and to be closer to Sung Jin Woo. But
that's never gonna happen though, straight up. The gap is gonna get bigger and bigger. The power system in this show does not allow other characters to become strong. They're just static, and then they could do technique training, sure. Maybe you could get more experience, combat experience, but like, there's not gonna be anything that makes you close that gap.
Oh, damn, son. How many girls has Sung Jin Woo impressed throughout this entire series?
I lost count.
Lee Jo-hee, Han Sung-yi, Lee-sil, and now Chai Hyen. This dude has created a harem. The mysterious lady that's big.
It's not really a harem, but it is harem-esque because everyone wants him. And he just like blows them all up. He does not give a fuck. Did we just compare Song-yi?
Lee Jo-hee, Han Sung-yi.
Yo, chill the fuck. No. She is head over heels for Jinmu. Jinmu is, you know, he ain't being the alligator right now. Fucking Diddy Woo right now. No. That is true though. She definitely is all about him. That is absolutely true. She put on like extra makeup for him.
That big Viking Broly was talking about, who would have made a fuss over the stench. Could she be related to Chai Hyen? We don't know too much about the dancer's backstory. She is very mysterious indeed. Maybe she in the future will also awaken a system-like ability like Sung Jin Woo, and maybe the two of them could be this power.
That'd be nice. Genuinely, if she could also level, but it's called solo leveling, right? Not duo leveling.
Couple, that would be epic and romantic. Maybe those with a strong sense of smell are somehow tied to the demon world. Maybe Viking Broly Boy's lady is actually a relative of Cha. A mother, an aunt? That would make her character incredibly interesting. Cha does not like the smell of ordinary hunters, but Sung Jin Woo, he smells fine to her. But Sung Jin Woo, according to the Ice Elf King, is not in fact a human anymore. Maybe the dancer not being able to smell ordinary hunters is a unconscious way of rejecting humans.
It's not that he's not smelling Jinmu, right? It's that his smell, the odor that derives from the mana is like more pure, and therefore he can smell something good from him, right?
Siding with the demons. Maybe that is how she and the lady that Viking Broly was talking about could be the connection. Maybe there will come a point where both Cha and Sung Jin Woo will no longer be able to live on planet Earth. Being around the humans might not be good for their health. Maybe towards the end of the series, both of them will make a choice, die with the humans or live with the
I lost the theory tracking like 5 minutes ago. I have no clue where the fuck we're going with right now. But basically, Heian smells stench. The lady monarch that the other monarchs were talking about, something, them surpassing humanity and living somewhere else out in space. Cause aliens, yeah.
demons, and to watch planet Earth come to an end. Maybe the two of them start a whole new civilization of humans who grew up in these dungeon gates, and maybe it is in fact Jinwoo's warrior shadows who are the ones to attack the humans, but that is just a theory indeed.
I don't see any logic, like that was like peak creative writing. Usually I like when the theories are backed by logic step by step, I can follow. Over here, we just like walked a mile with no logic other than the stench relating to Chai-In. But go off, King. All right, let's talk about the dad.
When it came to who Jinwoo Sr. was looking at more intensely, I think Jinwoo Sr. was looking more at Big Viking Broly Boy. I mean, just look at these two characters.
They were similar. They were. The eye color was the same, the glow and the hairstyle. So I thought that Broly looking character was dad for a second until I realized, no, that's not him.
Hairstyle, the nose, the vacant expressions. These two look like they could be brothers. Maybe this is where Jinwoo Sr. has been gone for all these years. Maybe he was trying to rescue his bro. Maybe a long time ago when these two boys were kids, they were letting it rip on the playground. Big
Beyblade, baby.
Boy stumbled across a gate that opened. He walked in and was never seen again. When
you know what? Like, fuck it. That's pretty creative to think that, like, assuming that the monarch there is, like, Irwan's brother and his brother got lost in the dungeon and that's why dad, you know, decided to go in. It's fun. It's actually a pretty fun thought to have. My opinion is they're not related. My opinion is those two monarchs that we saw. Yeah, I mean, it all goes back to the glowy eyes and how dad was able to show up at Jeju Island so quick, right? Like again, the glowing eyes are usually just aura and aesthetics. Just because your eyes glow doesn't mean that you're like a special character in this show that can just open up gates, portals, and stuff. But the time of dad showing up here without any, you know, anything that we know of how he got here, and the fact that his eyes does glow and he's super strong. And remember, we were also thinking about, is dad like a different type of being? Is he also like categorized fundamentally different like Jinwoo? Is dad also a monarch? Maybe is a thought that I've been having recently.
Broly Boy? I mean, just look at these two characters. The hairstyle, the nose, the vacant expressions. These two look like they could be brothers. Maybe this is where Jinwoo Sr. has been gone for all these years. Maybe he was trying to rescue his bro. Maybe a long time ago when these two boys were kids, they were letting it rip on the playground. Big Viking Broly Boy stumbled across a gate that opened. He walked in and was never seen again. When the gates and the demons were first announced to the world, Jinwoo Sr. must have been like, I'm going to make it my mission to find my bro. But living inside these gates, he got influenced by the demons and the higher up, the ultimate enemy, and now Jinwoo Sr. wants to become that hero and save his brother from the dark side. Whatever the case is, whoever these two men are, I do believe they are possibly two out of many individuals who have a similar ability. Powerful heroes like Sung Jin-woo, Long Ponytail Man, and Jinwoo Sr., who may be the only key to defeating these mysterious creatures who can open gates. Big Viking Broly Boy and Old Man Iself purposely open these gates to put humanity in danger. It does
maybe again who created this system again? Is it really is it a specific monarch? Did they all try to create the system? Why? Is it as simple as they just want entertainment? Did they want a reason for humans? Like why even do this, right? Maybe it doesn't have to be that deep. Maybe again, someone is just like a joker and it was like, hee hee, I'm gonna open up a gate because I'm so bored right now. And it's like monarchs are like gods. They're like gods and they're just watching over and they're like, we're so bored. Let's just have some fun. And they're like, I got an idea. Let's open up fucking gates and let these human monkeys fight over it.
Look like they have some sort of vendetta against humanity. They want to see them gone, and they are surprised that Sung Jin Woo, the power inside.
Did they want humanity gone though? Based on their actions, I can't tell. I don't know if these are allies or enemies. They're giving me enemy vibes, but nothing they really did tells me otherwise. Because they didn't go and slaughter these humans. They just like made them unconscious while they were talking and having dialogue about, you know, I wonder what the Shadow Monarch was doing over here. So far, I'm leaning towards enemies, but we're not so sure just yet.
Power inside of him is helping the humans out. For some odd reason, I do feel like season 3 is the season where we're finally going to get all the secrets and truths of solar leveling. I still think the ultimate boss are aliens. The system technology Jinwoo has is so unbelievably advanced.
I think again, Jinwoo is the vessel of the Shadow Monarch, and he himself is the final endgame boss. Based on what Dad was saying in the interrogation against Dongsu. That's my final. I'ma die on that hill. At the very least, my theories are grounded in logic and actual like substance from the anime. If the dialogue was anime only, then fuck me.
And he seems to be the only person who has it. Maybe the aliens are trying to level up Jinwoo on purpose, so that they can slowly break away his humanity, bit by bit, to make him their ultimate weapon.
Let's assume that the Shadow Monarch is like on the same level as the other monarchs. Let's assume that the monarchs are like gods or deities that are all like preserving power and balance. What if the Shadow Monarch said, fuck this, I'm tired of this. I want to surpass the others. I'm tired of just being a little bro. I'm going to create a system. Use Jinwoo. He's going to level up. He's going to become so much more powerful to the point that he will surpass the other monarchs. And at that point, I'll do the Orochimaru into Sasuke body thing. And I'll take over the vessel. And then I'll become a stronger being. How about that one? Now it's like the Shadow Monarch is like a problem child. He's jealous of the other monarchs who just want beef. The other monarchs are just like, chill, bro. What are you doing? And Shadow Monarch did all this to get more power. How about that? How about that?
Those are all my theories so far. Overall, Solo Leveling Season 2 has been an absolute delight. There were some times in certain episodes where it did feel a bit too fast-paced. It seemed like the anime were cutting out manhwa chapters. But regardless, I was very entertained by it. The mystery, the action, the music was all just a 10 out of 10. And I can't wait for Solo Leveling Season 3 to eventually arise from A1 Pictures.
Hey, I see what he did there. Final Horizon. Mr. Aboidu Reviews, I thank you. I salute you. It is actually so impressive how you have been able to farm out video after video after video on Solo Leveling, and we were able to cover pretty much all of them. It's nice to have found a different channel that, you know, has a lot of fun theories. A lot of people hate his theories and think that he's stupid. He's just trying to think of the impossible. Everything he's saying is just fun imagination. You don't have to be so serious and be like, oh, he's so stupid. He's going off the total different direction. I, for one, think that the theory crafting, you know, opens up different perspective. It doesn't need to be correct. It's just about having fun with it. It's cool to see that he covers also many different types of animes too, right? It's not just Solo Leveling, but if this is the last video that he pumps out for Solo Leveling, thank you so much. Respect, appreciate you. And here's a link to the video. Please go check out Aboidu Reviews. Give it a like. Subscribe to his channel for other anime content. Here's a link. Why isn't it fucking going? Come on. And I'll see you next time. Bye-bye.